Macho, yeah, that's what they're going to be calling you. Because comparatively speaking to the Macho Man Randy Savage, you are nothing but garbage, yeah. Nothing but a garbage guy, you know? And I'm talking inevitable, and I'm talking you can't hold that belt with me climbing through the ropes. Going right here is a crying towel. And I want you to give that to Tito Santana. Yeah, because things are just popping right now. Things are starting to cultivate. Things are starting to grow. Things are getting real colorful. Just like the silver cloud Rolls Royce.
I'm very
Top
serious.
of the line.
Wait a minute. Randy.
Santana compared
Chill,
to
dude, chill.
you are like a grain of sand in the Sahara Desert.
And I ain't flying
desert. Heavyweight champion. Don't bet against me.
I don't bet, Randy.
Lose your life. No. Don't change your life. Elizabeth is icing the champagne right now because the time is getting near. And the Guyana must face the match of the century.
Champagne?
Champagne.
What kind?
Oh yeah. Doesn't matter. Nothing matters but the Intercontinental Heavyweight Championship belt, which I will own. Yeah, Tito Santana, climbing the garbage can, because comparatively speaking, nothing but garbage.
Kayfabe was a way to show respect to the audience and respect your own business. It was a way to protect it.
But to be the man, you gotta 316 says I just whipped you.
I don't mind.
We are the generation that eat. You make the rules, and we will. Who is booking this crap?
Oh boy. More of that.
WWE stands for.
The cream of the crop. And there's no one.
I am Mr. Richie Moon, and I'm Kayfabe Adrian, and I'm Kayfabe Focus.
Position that I'd rather not be in, but the cream rises to the top.
It's Kayfabe Avenue.
Ladies and gentlemen, heels and faces, casual wrestling fans, and all you smart marks, I am Mr. Richie Moon.
And I'm Kayfabe AJ.
And I'm Kayfabe Focus.
And this is Kayfabe Avenue, and this is the 5 Points of War. We usually give them a little bit of banter, but we're going to jump right into it. Focus, hit them with the rundown.
All right, first off, we're going to start off with the AEW Dynamite, which started off with the scenes from Full Gear. Also, we also did a review on the
Yes.
Full Gear. Go check that out.
Facts for facts.
But going into the Dynamite, the first match we got is Jon Moxley versus Michael Nakazawa.
Who didn't play around, y'all? No baby oil. You were like, nah.
This is actually the first time it was a straight match
serious.
for him.
Yeah, it was serious. Because Kenny's his boy. That's why he was in a promo before. Shout out to Kenny for that good acting beat. Because the doctor asked him, like, yo, was Moxie cleared? And he's just like, yeah, he's cleared, but he's beat up. And Kenny just like, feel like he lost his dog, fam.
Yeah.
He got his ass whipped.
Yeah.
In probably one of the craziest
And he can't wrestle.
matches in current American culture. Death matches is usually a Japan thing, and they definitely brought deathmatch vibes to Full Gear. So.
Definitely.
Facts.
So after the match, Jon Moxley issues a challenge to everybody on the roster. It's just to see what's his next rivalry.
They probably cut a pretty good promo, too.
Pretty good promo. Next we have the Dark Order versus Jurassic Express, and this is with Marco Stunt and Jungle Boy.
Yep.
It was a pretty good match.
What's his name? Dino Jr. now?
Dino Jr.
Should we call him Dino Jr.?
Babysaurus.
Babysaurus, yeah, that's what it was. Yeah, Babysaurus. Yeah. Babysaurus.
Marco Stunt coming out with the Luchasaurus version of his own
mask.
Luchasaurus mask. So that was pretty dope.
Dark Order wins this one, and after the match, they tell Marco Stunt to join the Creepers and hit their mask. But Jungle Boy is like, no, he's already Babysaurus. So then, they start to beat him up, and guess who makes the save? None other than Luchasaurus.
Oh my goodness,
Magic
man!
Glad came back in
yes.
quick time.
Because he's supposed to be out for a while. But
Yeah.
he's back. Luchasaurus, which is probably one of the most over guys in all of wrestling. 2019, a dinosaur. Crazy. Please continue, sir.
So he beats up all the creepers, makes the save to make everybody happy. Next, we have a triple threat match. We have the chairman, Sean Spears, the Liberian, Peter Avalon, and Darby Allin.
He got a
as
big
well.
pop. Yo, he got a super big pop when he came out.
Definitely, Darby Allin's over.
Mhm.
So, Darby Allin wins this one.
And he finally accepts Mox's challenge. The
Yeah.
first person to actually step up to John Moxley after
Facts.
that promo earlier in the night.
Yes.
I think this is going to be a good match. If there's anybody who could take it to Moxley's level as far as physicality and stuff,
Mhm.
it's definitely someone like Darby Allin who's doing
Yeah.
coffin drops to himself. So imagine what Mox is going to do to him or what he's going to do to Mox. So
And, you know,
definitely good build-up.
my only thing I'm upset about this is that it's not going to be on a pay-per-view because you know Moxley and Darby are going to take this to another level. They're going to go in. And they actually wrestled on New.
Oh, yeah.
They wrestled on...
Northeast Wrestling.
Yeah.
Yeah, we actually would. No, we weren't there for that.
We weren't there for that
They
one.
were both on the card.
Yeah. We were there when
Yeah.
he won the
Yeah.
won the new
yeah,
championship.
with the NEW
Yeah,
championship.
when he won
Wonder
the
if he's
new
still NEW champion. But
Probably
anyways,
drop.
I think that's definitely gonna be a good match. Yeah, it kind of does suck. It's not gonna be built to a pay per view. But at the end of the day, we're in that in between time. They don't have any more events
Yeah.
for the rest of the
They're
year.
building up to the next
So,
pay-per-view, yeah.
They did pretty good with this episode. I felt like they brought people who were in the background of AEW. They brought in some new people. Continue down the card. We'll get more to that. But I feel like this was a good reset coming off of Full Gear.
Yeah.
So next match we have Nyla Rose versus Danny Jordan.
I haven't seen Nyla Rose in a little minute.
No, we
Yeah,
haven't
since
seen
her loss against Rio for the AEW Women's Championship. This was a quick match.
It was a squash match, you know.
Yeah, it was
I never seen this Danny Jordan from anywhere, so you know it was obviously local talent, and she basically got squashed by Nyla Rose.
Yeah.
All right. Moving on. There's a promo. There's a backstage segment where Awesome Khan and Brandy Rose attack Ali and cut her hair. Right.
more of
Yeah.
that. More of that.
See, I feel like it's starting to make more sense. Like things are starting to make more sense because they're attacking
Yeah,
everybody. And
They're
Yeah.
going to be the dominant force in the women's division, and
Yeah.
this is the perfect spark that they need. They need a big heel who can actually get it done in the ring, like Awesome Kong.
yeah,
Now we need to see who's going to be the ones to oppose her.
facts.
We haven't seen much of Ali in AEW. We've seen her in bits and pieces, but
We'll
if
see what
they're going
happens.
with Ali going forward, we still have Kong doing this to be a Priestley at Full Gear. So who
Ali,
knows? It might be a multi-woman match they're trying to do, or
Ali got a
who's going to be the one to oppose Awesome Kong. Maybe it'd be what's her name, Aha Kong, the lost, forgotten storyline of AEW back in Double or Nothing when
You know, that's the multiverse.
they both stood tall against each other.
facts. That's the
Kind of dropped that
multiverse.
story. Maybe that's where it's leading.
So afterwards, we have Le Champion,
But I'll show me on.
Chris Jericho,
Mhm.
come out, saying that
I just started laughing. I'm just thinking about the promo.
First,
and then
yeah.
MJF comes
You have
out.
to just start with saying this is one of the greatest aspects of the show. The promo work
for sure.
between Chris Jericho and MJF
it was amazing.
in this segment, just hilarious, bouncing off each other. MJF is great on the mic, and going against
Absolutely.
somebody like Chris
He
Jericho
also,
on the
he
mic.
also explained why he turned on Cody at Full
Mhm.
Gear, and then please continue. You want to give a breakdown of the segment of what happened in said segment?
So basically, they go back and forth asking if MJF wanted to join in the circle, but does he want to join in the circle?
I mean, I'm
The-
not sure.
do you
They, they want him to join the Inner Circle?
I don't know. Do you think they want him in the circle?
Do you think he wants to join the Inner Circle?
I don't know. I think this is getting kind of repetitive.
I
Right now.
think,
kinda
I
repetitive.
think it is. I think it is.
All right, so afterwards they say, who's the biggest mark in or what was it, Mark? Who's the biggest
This-
idiot in
AEW?
AEW? Cody Rhodes, and then they hug, and then next thing you know, Cody comes out
I was
not clear.
I was personally left confused. Like, did MJF actually join the Inner Circle?
Yeah, I was
No,
confused too.
no, he didn't.
Or
No, he
you
didn't.
know,
No.
where they
It was
just
kind of- they
mutual
made-
understanding.
No,
but
they
not
made
joining together.
they made it clear. No, I mean they hugged because they're both heels, but they made it clear because when Cody came out, he came out for the rundown. Wardlow made his debut, and Wardlow is
Now he's in MJF's corner.
he's MJF. That's his strong man. You know what I'm saying? That's his front man. So they don't really. He doesn't really need to join the Inner Circle. You know what I'm saying? I would kind of be a little bit overkill.
Yeah.
Which is what he told Jericho.
Yeah.
Don't really need you
You
guys.
don't really need to. You don't really need to. So yeah.
So next we have Hangman versus Pac.
Woo.
Once
This
again,
is Hangman Pac
the
number
bomb
3.
the bastard.
This is
The
the
rubber match.
rubber match between the two. The
Yes.
person who wins this wins the rivalry,
I
and
think Pac is number one in the rankings now. Yeah,
He should be.
because Cody lost, and now Cody lost, he lost too, but he got this win.
the
so
thing
they're
I'm
number
liking
one.
is so far has been decisive victories back
So,
and
so
forth
do you
between
think
them.
that Pac is going to turn face?
No,
Or
Pac is
Jericho?
Pac
Or
is
is
naturally
it going to be two heels versus
Heel versus heel.
yeah.
Heel versus heel.
Yeah, they don't shy away from those kind of matchups in AEW,
Nor should you.
and they shouldn't. Pac just naturally is working like
He's a
at
bastard.
his best.
His name is a
Yeah.
bastard.
He's
a
at his
bastard.
best in this heel character. I really wouldn't want him to go back to the baby face.
He can never do that.
Neville
He can't. He
that
can
we
never
had
do
in WWE. Pac the
Did you
bastard.
put that? Did you see the meme that I put up with the two Sonics?
Oh yeah,
That's
yeah.
literally Neville and Pac.
Yeah.
It's the same thing. Same concept. Same concept.
All right, so moving on, we have Santana Ortiz and the Young Bucks fighting backstage.
Oh my gosh.
And there was a small appearance by Orange Cassidy. So it basically turned into like
You know he can't speak if he doesn't have his mic. Alright.
he's gonna do this all day. There you go. Yeah.
That's that 100% orange.
Sorry,
Yeah,
the
yeah,
Orange
so-
Pep
so-
kind of took over me. Sorry. All right, continue.
So the brawl goes on. You know, they slam each other into tables. You know, they hit everything with the kitchen sink. The Rock and Roll Express came out like I think, right?
Nah, they were just brawling in the backstage, and there was if you caught it, John Moxley was actually sitting on one of the creations watching them fight. Like they pan past him like real quick. You're just sitting there watching them fight. Then they came out to the actual crowd, and Proud and Powerful slammed Matt Jackson through the stage.
Spray
They spray
painted
painted the circle,
circle
put it
on
in
the
the
stage,
circle, and it
put a
boom.
right through.
Yeah. So that was awesome. Then they took Nick's leg with the sock, with the homie sock. You know what I'm saying? Beat his leg. So that's awesome. But next week we actually found out, and it's kind of weird. I'm down for it. I'm here for all the smoke. Nick Jackson versus Ray Phoenix 1-on-1.
First one-on-one match for the Young Bucks.
In 4 years. This is the first match in
That's
one-on-one
crazy.
in 4 years. So this is interesting. It's interesting. You know what's really interesting about this? Because the way AEW book stuff, in the beginning when they were doing the Road 2s, Chris Jericho left both of them a voice message saying how they should break up and how they should be singles. Like, oh, you're both be the best. I'm wondering if maybe somehow, I don't know. We'll see. Because the way they book things,
They brothers. They've been partners so long, and even if they split up, the eventual return.
think about how interesting that would be. Think
Yeah.
about how interesting that would be because both of them are super. Both of them will be single because single stars. But that's that's nor here nor there.
So for the main event, we have a World Tag Team Championship match. We have the SCU
SCU.
versus Le Champion Chris Jericho and the Spanish guy Sammy Guevara. Mind you, they're undefeated.
They're undefeated.
And this was a great match. You really showcased Sammy Guevara.
Sammy Guevara's over, yo.
And
Because Chris Jericho got the Midas. So the champion has the Midas touch, man. Anything he touches, Sammy Guevara's gold. You know what I'm saying? A couple of weeks ago, you might have not known who Sammy Guevara is. Now,
You do know
yes,
now.
he's a sexy beast. He's a Spanish god. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, you got to say it like that. Spanish god. You know, so It is what it is. SCU and, of course,
SCU.
the Le Champion got
Le
pinned
Champion.
by Scorpio Sky, which I called
first time ever
his
getting
first
a loss.
and he
in
sold it like
AEW.
crazy. Sold like crazy.
Yeah, he was pissed off, swinging chairs,
Pissed off,
every
man.
Because how about that? Wins losses
destroying
matter.
stuff. Good things for Scorpio Sky.
Facts. I called this.
I'm pretty sure that means there's a one-on-one between them gonna happen soon.
If you
Very
remember, right before he said that line, right a little bit in the bubbly, he walked through and he was just like, "Oh, look at beat consistent. Hey, Bucky boys." They-
Scorpio Sky, you
Scorpio
never
Sky.
get
He
this.
says, "Yeah, Scorpio Guy, you never
Yeah.
get a shot at this. Now look at this
Long-term booking.
long-term booking." You know what? Also, somebody, an episode of Being the Elite, almost like a year ago, they introduced MJF. You know what the episode was? Full gear. Like that's like
It's
non.
like Simpson style.
Like that booking is crazy.
Yeah.
That's why. Hey, we'll see, man. We shall see, man. That was the end of AEW.
Yeah, well, let's go on to the NXT side, see what matchups we had on there.
NXT Live. Ooh, I already know the opening match of that, and I'm gonna straight up say this before we get to 5 Points of War. That was the best match of both weeks for me. I know we'll
Both
get there
shows for the week.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But
Leo
we'll
Rush
get there.
versus
Angel Garza.
Garza.
Oh my god, that was a fucking cracking match. Those two put it in, and I don't even think they're done. I think they're definitely gonna, because the finish. Where he finished, kind of had his foot on the rope. He pulled it. I feel like those two still got more to take. Those two are gonna go.
No, they had a good built-up rivalry too. Story going in, him smacking Leo Rush in the
Smacked the
face,
taste out of his
and
mouth.
Leo Rush's family being
He
ringside.
hopped off, it took the pants off right there. His family. Oh
Yeah,
my
so,
gosh.
They were doing a lot of story build-up even in the
Facts.
middle of the match. So
Facts.
very good back and forth.
It was
that was definitely one of the highlights of this week's NXT.
The story,
Which is just one of many highlights. Like this was a good episode.
no,
And-
it was.
And what about the next match with Zia Lee and Aaliyah, and how Zia Lee just basically broke
See,
Aaliyah's nose?
Yeah, this match really wasn't too long. It wasn't really anything, with a lot of flash and substance.
I
But
feel like this match hurt the NXT in the 5 Points of War because I feel like I like Aaliyah, but I don't feel like she's ready for TV yet.
they're building Aaliyah. I can
Sometimes she
have that same argument
Sometimes she
with
is.
90% of the women's division on AEW. So having a match with Aaliyah and that something like that happening, I'd rather them do that, try, and get the women built up a little bit more, because later on in the night we had a good rebuttal for that bad situation. We had a great matchup for the women, so we had that counterbalance. AEW really doesn't give us a counterbalance of great women's wrestling and mediocre women's wrestling. It's either one or the other.
Yeah, and I feel like Aaliyah has been better, but like just this week, just to please
No,
continue.
growing pains.
So afterwards, we get Finn Balor cutting a promo.
Broadway Balor.
The real rock and roller.
So Keith Lee then challenged Adam Cole to a match, but Roderick Strong said he'll take the match. So
Well, we got to give them a little bit of context.
Yeah.
So they're coming out for Finn Balor, it seems.
Oh,
Because-
Matt Riddle.
Yeah,
Matt
Finn
Riddle
Balor
came out.
and Matt Riddle
Yeah.
got into a square off after
Facts.
Finn cuts his promo,
Mhm.
and then this leads into Keith Lee coming out. This leads into Donovic, Dijakovic,
Yeah.
and the rest of the Undisputed Era coming out. So there's a bigger story going on here. Dijakovic being the latest member of the War Games team
Right by
for
Ciampa.
NXT Takeover. So it's actually a lot of big events going on. I like this episode because it was building NXT Takeover War Games, but at the same time giving us the Survivor Series build up NXT is now involved with.
Facts.
So good stuff, and a lot of mystery still surrounding whether Finn Balor is undisputed or not. So very very good promo leading to a segment leading
It's
to a
it's
match.
very ambiguous at this point.
Very.
You don't know what's gonna happen
Yeah.
next.
And he really did injure Johnny Gargano. Like, he just did. Like,
Yeah.
That 1916, it was like devastating.
That was horrible.
Yeah.
All right, so Keith Lee defeated Roderick Strong with
Great
Supernova.
Great match.
Then we have the Undisputed Era coming back out and attacking after the match. Donovan Dijakovic makes the save.
That's when all that stuff happened. Basically, there's all the stuff that we just explained. That's basically when that stuff we just did a little bit of reverse.
Then we have a segment where Jessamine Duke, Maria Sophia, and Candice LeRae were found beaten up, but nobody knows who did it. So
A little bit of the mystery.
Who do you think did it?
I literally have no idea.
All right, so then we have Saint Strickland, or as NXT calls him, Isaiah Swerve Scott versus Bronson Reed.
That was a good match between them two.
I think I'm more to take with those two.
Still giving me more to look forward to as far as Bronson Reed goes.
I'm still not sold on Bronson Reed yet.
I think he has potential. He's been catching my eye the couple weeks that he's been on, and same thing goes for Swerve Scott. Felt like this was kind of a quick match as well. They had a little moment where they kind of messed up. I feel like the ending was a little abrupt, but on the replay, that's when I actually caught what move he was doing with that kind of side kick to the temple. But other than that, good match, but pretty quick. A good showcase of both, though.
All right, so next, we were supposed to have Pete Dunne and Killian Dane, but Damian Priest attacked before it could start. He took down both men, and
he actually got over.
Attacks Killian Dane, puts him out, then goes after Pete Dunne. Killian Dane gets back in the mix, and then him and Pete Dunne go at it. Priest just coming out on top of them all sides.
Everybody was like, Priest. That's the first time that happened. Or Barney could take his spot and get over.
He has athleticism. He has the height, the build. The guy could go far.
Infamy of Archer.
So for the main event, we have Io Shirai versus Mia Yim in a ladder match.
Now, this ladder match was for advantage going into War Games, the first ever female War Games match. And this is what I was trying to get to earlier. You know, with the Aaliyah match, we do have somebody who's up and coming and trying to learn the ropes. But this match was like the complete opposite spectrum of that. You know, these ladies taking risks, and Mia Yim even getting bust open herself, but still continuing the match. You know, she took a crazy fall, thrown off the ladder, through another ladder among a bunch of spots. This is a match, you know, as far as the women, you want to go out your way to see.
Definitely a match that you need to go out of your way to see.
Definitely worthwhile.
And Mia Yim basically broke her face on a ladder fall.
So, you know, I personally think the NXT women's division is probably the best women's division, period, right now. And
it is.
This was a little showcase of what they're doing. Not a lot of. I think this was probably the first women's ladder match, wasn't it? Maybe for NXT's part,
maybe
but
maybe I don't know.
I don't remember any one-on-one ladder matches in the women's. You know.
Maybe there is, but no, it was a good match. It was a
good match.
So then we have Shayna Baszler and Bianca Belair to celebrate with Mia Yim, and I think Kylie Ray was there as well.
No, not Kylie Ray.
No, not Kylie Ray, but Kylie Lee Ray from UK.
Oh, the NXT
Women's Champion. Yeah, she's a part of Shayna Baszler's War Games team.
That was a surprise. I knew who it was earlier.
And then we have Bayley come out and attack Shayna and chase her off.
Get back.
So it was revealed that
what's the girl's name?
Bayley's the mystery person who was attacking the women throughout the night.
What was the girl's name? That Izzy.
Izzy, yeah, she was chanting Bayley sucks. Which is something we thought would never see out of her. She was the hugest
Bayley fan ever.
And
another heel turn.
It's crazy.
Swerve.
Storyline later.
So let's get to the 5 points of war.
So we already know the ratings. AEW won the ratings war once again. 956,000.
This is week 6 we're talking about. So 6 weeks straight, AEW has been on top.
956,000 to NXT 750,000. They fell. AEW went up once again in the 18 to 49 demographic. They doubled them, which is the most important demographic. AEW is killing it. AEW is even is almost besting Raw and SmackDown in those demographics. So they're besting a lot of other TV shows.
Their views don't get close to what Raw and SmackDown does.
But that
They're both
demographic, though.
averaging about 2 million. With
Yeah.
Raw with SmackDown
But that
averaging
demographic,
about
I remember-
2.4
I
million.
remember when they first said AEW was getting a TV deal that TNT was looking for probably around
500,000
500.
views.
like and look at that.
They're doubling it.
Yeah,
basically
so,
almost doubled.
You know,
Yeah.
it's only gonna get better. It's only gonna get bigger. So you know, AEW takes the ratings on the first point of war.
Let's get to the most interesting storyline of the night, the best storyline of the night. AJ, let's start off with you. What do you think was the best storyline of the night?
Best storyline of the night to me would probably go to AEW. What stands out to me currently is the MJF Cody saga. The fact they brought in what's his name again?
Wardlow.
Wardlow.
Mhm.
They debuted Wardlow, big guy. We need a lot of new
Big guy.
guys
Yeah.
in AEW.
Brian Cage,
So-
where you at?
We have that. We have the Inner Circle storyline. Is MJF have an unspoken alliance with the Inner Circle? What's going to happen with Cody not having the ability to ever chase the AEW championship?
And what's gonna happen now that Pac is the number one contender?
What's gonna
You
happen
know,
with-
so
is Kenny Omega
I
gonna be
give
clear next week?
AEW that storyline. NXT, I'd give them the standout for building the War Games match stories, and also at the same time continuing this build for Survivor Series.
Yeah,
Their focus is kind of split in two different directions.
has to be.
It's good because they have to build up their own event, but I feel like their focus is diverted. So I'll give AEW this week. I feel like their storylines are more zoned in.
Yeah.
We kind of see the direction they're going, and we still have a lot of questions that they're giving us to, yet to be answered. So
Yeah.
I think AEW.
Focus.
I think that the MJF storyline is what's doing it for me right now. It basically showed a great growth with MJF from when he first debuted being the elite to right now. He started to seem like a main event player. They tried to do this with Shawn Spears, but it didn't necessarily go over. But now that we have MJF fulfilling that role, I think it's going to lead into bigger and better things.
You know what's
more
crazy
ratings.
that you say that? I feel like watching MJF, especially in this promo, as far as the growth goes, he reminds me of a young Rock right when he was getting his gimmick over, and he was like at the heart of his, people's champion kind of look. Like the comfortability that MJF had on the mic, I felt like it lended a lot to the storyline and the build and what we were, intrigued for going in.
Yeah.
He
Yeah.
definitely was giving me seasoned, like early
Amazing.
Rock.
Good
the
stuff.
height of his
I think
character.
the best storyline of the night between both shows is stuff that's going on in AEW. Is just because the way everything syncs together, everything kind of just flows in and out of each other. AEW has a living, breathing universe. People watch each other's matches. You see this affects this part. Like they're just everything is moving pieces as a wrestling company should be. It should be like that. So I think between the MJF Cody stuff, will Kenny be cleared next week? John Moxley versus Darby Allin. Now Pac's number one contender. The Dynamite dozen battle royal that they got going on next week. I'm not exactly sure what that is, but I'm interested to see because they've given me good faith. It was like, all right, well, I'll see where this goes.
Yep.
Wardlow debuting. I feel like this is a good reset after the pay-per-view cycle. They're building up to whatever the next event's going to be in 2020. So AEW right now 2-0. So let's move into best match between both shows. I'm going to start this one off. I'm going to go ahead and say it. Leo Rush versus Angel Garza. Best match between both shows. You need to go out of your way to see it. Both these guys brought all the smoke, and they got more smoke to bring. They're really making the Cruiserweight Championship feel more important. I personally want them to change the look of the Cruiserweight Championship, give it that black and gold rub, make it feel like it's really part of the black and gold brand. And yeah, I think Leo Rush and Garza really got the best match between both shows.
I have to agree with you as far as NXT. I feel like NXT gave me everything I wanted as far as wrestling. They stand out because of their wrestling. AEW stands out because of everything else they're doing with a sprinkle of their wrestling here and there. But they're more a variety show. NXT is like, here's the wrestling. And I feel like that's stood out.
I feel like
this
that's a little
week.
bit to their detriment.
They gave me 3 matches that I felt were perfect contenders for best match of the week. Lio Rush versus Garza, Roger Strong versus Keith Lee, and Mia Yim versus Io Shirai. These are great matches, and NXT hands down I feel took this week.
Focus?
I was gonna say Io Shirai versus Mia Yim. That was a brutal match, and
Really much.
it was straight brutal. And you know, it just had a great storyline. You know, to get the advantage for War Games. You know, you can see it that they both wanted it, and you know. that's
Usually,
just
when
one
you
of
give
them.
the women these opportunities
They kill it.
to shine, they like step to the plate, and I feel like a ladder match leading into this War Games, like you just gave us a brutal match leading to the next brutal match,
Yeah.
and you know they're doing big things with their women's division. I'm really proud of what NXT's doing.
Yeah.
Right.
I'm actually intrigued to like really keep following
I
this.
feel like outside of Stardom, NXT's women's division is probably the best women's division out in the world. I just give it to Stardom because Stardom is literally a whole
Yeah, it's a whole
Yeah.
promotion.
it's a whole
for women.
promotion. So yeah. So let's move on to the most intrigue for next week. I think we kind of already
I have both things.
I feel
Both
like
shows are kind of intriguing me, but
yeah.
I'll give this one to NXT for the simple fact I'm curious about the go home week leading into Survivor Series. I'm curious about the go home leading into Takeover, which is next week. AEW, like we said, has no events going in for the rest of this month and
Rest of the
next
year.
month. So, you know, I give this to NXT because they got 2 shows that I'm interested about.
Uh-huh.
We also have to find out who's the last member of Keith Lee's and Matt. No, not Matt. Keith Lee's
Ciampa's,
team.
yeah.
Team Ciampa. There's still one member with Johnny Gargano being out. There's still one person who needs to fill that void.
Right.
So we're wondering about that. Matt Riddle versus Finn Balor with the question of Undisputed Era. So I'll give the intrigue to NXT because I have 2 events next weekend that I have to look forward to the go home episode of not only Raw, SmackDown, but NXT as well, leading to Survivor Series as well as Takeover War Games. So NXT takes it for me.
Focus.
I'm gonna have to say that NXT as well. You know, because you know, leading up into War Games, it's interesting that we have all female War Games, and you know, having Mia Yim and Io Shirai go to the limit, and then Mia Yim almost breaking her face. Will she still be in the War Games match?
They haven't mentioned that she's out of it, so I'm assuming
It's
that
a nasty
it was
fall.
just a cut. It
It's
really
a nasty
was.
fall. Yeah.
She was holding the ladder, and Io jumped, you know, did like a springboard move, like drop kicking the ladder, and it kind of like skinned her face. So, you know, it bust her open.
They
It
were
was like above the nose.
Yeah.
I don't think it will have any major effects going into
They
War
would have said
Games,
something
but
if she was like,
yeah,
clear,
I think
so.
she's
She's
cleared.
good.
She's
She's
good.
cleared.
Yeah, she's good. For me, it was man. This is actually one of the hardest weeks. It's trying to pick between both shows. But I am going to go also with NXT. Unfortunately, due to that 1916 that Balor did to Johnny Gargano, was going to be. I mean, it's not unfortunate. It's still going to be a good match. Balor versus Matt. That's going to be a good match. But you know, the way it was set up, like we clearly see, that was the original storyline. With that. Keith Lee pinned Roger Strong, so maybe will he get a future title shot? There's a lot of moving plates going on in NXT right now. So I'm going to give it to NXT. Only by slightly, though. Because like you said, they got a lot of good wrestling, but I feel like sometimes that's to their detriment because there's like, they lost, I feel like NXT's lost a little bit of their cool. Ever since AEW round, I don't feel like it's just because AEW.
It's because honestly,
I feel like
to me, is the production value difference.
I feel like just because NXT is so focused
the
on
focus,
the wrestling.
yeah, the focus is different. They could definitely maybe shorten a few matches to put in more promo work and more segments. That's where AEW takes it for me is the fact that they give us the video packages, they give us the promos as well as the wrestling. They do a lot of in-ring promo work in NXT, but not a lot of segments, not a lot of video packages.
I feel like AEW's promos, bro. I mean, that's like they blow everybody's. I mean,
so
So it's not even fair, really.
Who was your pick for this week?
Oh, it was NXT. It was NXT. You know, especially to cap it off, the same things you said with the War Games, Survivor Series stuff going on. So I am a little worried about what's going to happen after that stuff. But that's another topic for another time.
We'll see what happens.
Yeah, we'll see what happens. So in the last category, best overall show between NXT, AEW. Focus. We're gonna start with you. Who do you feel like had the best overall show between NXT and AEW?
NXT. They had solid matches. AEW had some pretty good matches, like the SU versus Inner Circle, but it was I feel like NXT caught my attention more.
Did you?
This is a hard one for me because both shows did very well this week.
Yeah.
And I think I have to go with NXT because NXT gave us the storylines, but also gave us the solid wrestling. Mm-hmm. Their wrestling just stood out to me this week, opposed to AEW. What AEW did well was bring a lot of future feuds, continue the feuds that are happening, and like I said, NXT has a lot going on as far as TakeOver and Survivor Series coming up.
Mm-hmm.
So I feel like they had an overall solid show with giving little bits of everything they're focused on and building up their future stories. So NXT takes it for me.
So NXT by default does win the 5 points award. So now it is 5-2. AEW 5, NXT 2. I honestly,
as far as our record,
as far as our record, I personally, I enjoy Wednesday Night Dynamite so much more. Honestly, I do like NXT. I think it's dope. I just enjoy it. Like I feel like Dynamite is must see. As opposed to, NXT is like, if I catch it, like I always watch it that night, but it's just like, oh, okay, I'll catch it that night. But it's just like, with Dynamite, it's like, no, I need to watch this.
It's like
Wednesday
with,
night. And I don't feel like it's just because this is a new thing. I feel like it's more of my type of wrestling.
I feel like
the storylines I can
feel
sink
like
my teeth into.
It's because that AEW has more of a fun tone, like, hey, come here and watch it.
Yeah,
and then NXT is more like serious, dark, and grungy.
But I don't feel like they were always like that. I feel like they kind of took that path when AEW came around. Like, I want NXT to get back a little bit of that cool, like how Balor was.
I feel like NXT wasn't focused on grabbing new viewers. They were more focused on, hey, this is us, this is what we're doing, and we're going to catch your attention one way or another.
But they were still
AEW's more on some, we need to give you a variety show that'll bring in everybody. NXT's like, we're gonna bring in the diehards and we're gonna keep the audience that we already have.
Yeah.
And they're not really changing their tone too much.
That's
why I feel like the production still weighs heavy on them.
That's a reflection of the viewers.
They need a lot of fans filling these crowds for them and staying in Full Sail is what hurts them in the view of AEW versus NXT. I think if they up the production, maybe travel like AEW is doing, there'll be a significant rise in viewership. NXT, AEW won't take it every week, but let's be honest. When you flick in the channel and you see an arena of 750 people, and you change the channel again, you see an arena filled with 15,000 people, you're gonna tend to gravitate to the one that looks more full, looks more vibrant.
To me, that's not really what that does play a factor. But to me, what is just that AEW is just more of an enjoyable show to me. Like, I have fun watching AEW. I feel like sometimes NXT it's so bogged down in wrestling. It's like, all right, I get that from New Japan. Like I actually like a little sport.
NXT kind of is like our New Japan equivalent in America, if you think about it.
But it wasn't my thing is it wasn't always like that. It wasn't always like
heavy.
That. It wasn't always like that. This happened. This is the AEW effect.
Think about it. Everybody who gave you that feeling, they were on the main roster.
This is the AEW effect. So this is the AEW effect.
It's the Chris Jericho effect. Excuse me.
Facts. This is the Chris Jericho effect.
Well, we can argue all day about whether Le Champion is the cause of all this, and whether we should continue thanking him.
Yes, thank you, Chris Jericho.
NXT takes this week on week 6. Yes. Of the Wednesday Night Wars for us. So, where can they find us?
They can find us at Kayfabe Avenue. Follow our Facebook group at Kayfabe Avenue. Subscribe to us at Kayfabe Avenue on the YouTube. Follow us at Kayfabe Avenue on Instagram. AJ, where can I find you at?
At Kayfabe_AJ on Instagram.
Focus, where can I find you at?
At Kayfabe_focus at Instagram. Please like and comment and subscribe and give us ideas on what you would like to see on our channel. And
We
on
definitely have a lot of end of year content coming out.
Yes, we do.
So if you guys made it this far, please give your opinion on what you want to see as far as end of year content. Regardless, we're gonna bring you videos on that. Let's recap the year, recap major people, major going on 2019.
We are the best content machine.
Content machine.
Content machines.
With that being said, Kenny, take us home.
Goodbye. Mwah. And good night. Bang.